CinemaCon's going on right now in Las Vegas, and I gotta say, things are getting a little tense there. Because CinemaCon just went from here's the next slate to Hollywood Civil War. Because the theater industry's top trade group got on stage and basically told Paramount and Warner, this merger is harmful. Harmful to theaters, harmful to consumers, harmful to the entire ecosystem. And now the fight is public, which means the next phase is pretty simple. Regulators are watching, and the studios are about to spin like their lives depend on it. Welcome back to The Critical Nerd. If you like receipts-heavy breakdowns of the entertainment industry's chaos, do me a favor, hit like, subscribe, ring the notification bell. Today we're breaking down why CinemaCon is melting down over the Paramount Warner deal, what theaters are afraid of, and what happens next. So, CinemaCon Las Vegas. Cinema United CEO Michael O'Leary said the proposed Paramount Skydance Warner Bros. Discovery deal would be, and I quote, harmful to exhibition, consumers, and the entire entertainment ecosystem. And he didn't whisper it. He said consolidation means fewer films being produced for theaters. That's not a random gripe. That's the theater business model screaming, don't do this. Here's the core fear of it all. When two major studios combine, competition, well, it shrinks. And when competition shrinks, a few things usually happen. Less output, i.e. fewer films, more leverage for the merged studio in negotiations, more pressure on release windows, screens, and scheduling, and higher consumer costs in the long run. The exhibitors are basically pointing to history. After Disney bought Fox, the number of films coming out of that combined pipeline dropped. So they're treating this deal like deja vu. And there's a second layer to all this. The theaters are saying the cost to the consumer has risen, and consolidation at the studio level is part of that reason. This is the part Hollywood always skips. If the merged company has more control, it can squeeze everyone downstream. Now, Paramount's side is trying to calm the room. According to Reuters, Paramount's David Ellison has said the studios would remain separate and that the company would keep theatrical commitment. Talk like 30 films annually and continued licensing. But exhibitors, well, they're not buying it. Because the whole reason mergers happen is to extract, we'll just say, synergies. And synergies is corporate for cut costs, cut staff, consolidate decision-making, and reduce redundant output. Which means the first thing that gets squeezed is usually the mid-budget and risk titles. The movies that aren't guaranteed to open huge. Theaters hear synergies and just have to think that synergies means fewer movies. And it's not only theater owners. Axios reports 1,000 plus Hollywood professionals, including major award winners / nominees, signed an open letter opposing the deal, arguing it can mean fewer jobs, fewer opportunities, and less choice. So now, let's see here. You got the theaters opposing it, creatives opposing it, and the deal becoming a public political issue. That is the exact opposite of easy approval. Once industry groups start openly lobbying, regulators, well, they seem to take notice. Cinema United is saying they're going to lobby to stop the merger. Axios also points out DOJ may still challenge, and state AGs and foreign regulators could become a real factor, especially if approvals just start dragging a little bit. So the next phase is this. Everyone builds their narrative for the regulators. And the narrative from theaters is this reduces competition and leads to fewer films and worse outcomes for audiences. Now, what's this mean for you, me, the audience? Well, the audience-facing version of the fear is this. If the deal goes through, you could end up with fewer theatrical releases from fewer decision makers, less variety, which means more sure things in fewer risks, more bundling power in streaming and distribution, and potentially higher costs with fewer choices over time. And the theaters aren't saying this because they're saints. They're saying it because they've watched consolidation squeeze them before. So the takeaway here is simple. CinemaCon just turned this merger into a public brawl. Theaters are warning it's harmful. Creatives are warning it's harmful. Now regulators get to decide if Hollywood consolidation keeps going or it hits a wall. So drop your take below. Is this merger a necessary streaming wars move, or is it going to shrink theatrical and make everything worse? And again, do me a favor, if you would, smash that like button, subscribe, hit that notification bell, share this video out there with your friends and family. And as always, keep your expectations low and your receipts high. I'm the Critical Nerd, and I'm out.